Hello, and welcome to this week's Movie Math, where Vin Diesel, he got quite the chuckle in. He laughed at Rotten Tomatoes, he laughed at Dwayne Johnson, and everyone who said F9 sucked, which was a lot of people, almost the entire country of China, as he drove all the way to the bank. Wow, 70 million debuted, delivering the best pandemic openings to date in a single day on Friday alone. Hollywood was so happy. It was just a normal 3-day weekend, no holiday here, although one is right around the corner, during a pandemic. He opened 10 million bigger than Hobbs & Shaw, which came out pre-pandemic. That's incredible. And he also gave a knowing wink to Lin-Manuel Miranda as Hispanics turned up big time for F9, the dominant demographic. With LA, New York, Chicago, San Francisco, and Atlanta, the big movie cities once again, although the pandemic has turned Dallas and Houston into big movie towns as well. We'll see if that continues to hold as theaters open back up. But Dallas and Houston did a lot of the heavy lifting early on when theaters began to reopen, and they're still showing up. And Vin Diesel mobilized those younger audiences too, with 51% of F9's audience under 25 and 57% male. Although that makes me laugh because more than one of you actually tweeted me that you had groups of teenage boys in your theater talking throughout the entire film. You got to take the good with the bad. And this is also a huge win for theater exclusives with A Quiet Place 2 and now F9, which are both expected to have 45-day windows. A Quiet Place 2 is confirmed to have a 45-day window and will then head to Paramount Plus. How badly do you want to watch it? Although I have Paramount Plus, I still don't watch it, but I paid for it, darn it. And then F9 is expected to have a 45-day window, but that has not been confirmed. Will it head to Peacock? Boss Baby's going there. So it shows that Universal is serious about that. But will they maybe send it to PVOD instead? You know, what would you do if you were Uni? They really want Peacock to succeed, but I think if you waited that long, if you waited 45 days to watch F9, you could wait more. And I think that if it went to PVOD, it could make a very big splash there. And that's what Universal has been doing to date. Their movies after the 17-day window have been going to PVOD. So we'll see what they decide to do with F9. F9 was also helped significantly by social distancing and capacity restrictions being removed from almost all theaters right as we went into the weekend, which was pretty surprising for a lot of us. I mean, AMC really ripped off that Band-Aid. They were like, surprise, someone's sitting right next to you. How was it for you going to the theater this weekend? Because chances are you bought your tickets when there was social distancing and then there wasn't any when you showed up. So I'm curious how your experience was. I mean, I don't know how crowded the theaters were because it played on so many screens. So they could have spread everyone out. So I just would love to hear what your F9 experience was like. I know some of you went because it made $70 million. You're anonymous on here. You can tell your story. Well, Black Widow opened even bigger. Already a number of Marvel fans are salivating at that prize. But that depends on how much business, of course, is siphoned off by Disney+. It is not a theatrical exclusive, but Disney is downplaying that option. It's not even on the poster. Like where it's on other posters, they're like, oh, is it on Disney+? Oh, what? I forgot about that. But I can tell you, viewers have not forgotten about it because the Delta variant is unfortunately starting to spread quite quickly. It's already a problem in Europe, and it's starting to escalate here in the United States. And we got 2 weeks until Black Widow comes out. I don't know what it's going to look like. Israel reported that people with the Pfizer vaccine are still getting the Delta variant. I don't know how serious their cases are, but it's breaking through it with some people. So I think it's a concern. Moviegoers could opt to go the Disney Plus option with Black Widow, even if under other circumstances they would have gone to the theater. And maybe theaters will put the social distancing back in. They took it out so quickly, it's clearly just the push of a button. So maybe after a week or let's see what happens again with the Delta variant, they could put it in maybe right before Black Widow. Or maybe for Black Widow's second weekend if things don't go so well. We'll see what happens. I think too early to tell. And that Delta variant is quite the variable. We'll also see what F9's second weekend looks like. Hobbs & Shaw fell 58% in its second weekend, and Fate of the Furious fell 61%. That's normal for these big blockbusters. Although Fate of the Furious opened much bigger than Hobbs and Shaw or F9, although F9, of course, is a pandemic film. F9 was available, as I said, on so many screens this weekend that everyone who wanted to see it opening weekend could. I don't know how many people are left. The cinema score was a B+. That's okay. Not as strong as other Fast and Furious movies. So I don't know if there's a desire to see it again. So there might not be a lot of money on the table going forward because there was it did 70 million because everyone went. And was that everyone who wanted to go? We'll have to find out. Also, because it was on so many screens, no one could get sold out, so that didn't create any overflow to other movies. Usually other movies will benefit from a big film coming into the space because you're like, oh, I got sold out. I guess I will see A Quiet Place 2, although that was number 2 in its 5th weekend. It's been out for a while, and it still was number 2, though, with 6.2, which is a long way from 70. Now, next weekend is a huge holiday weekend. It technically starts on Wednesday because 4th of July is on a Sunday. What a crap day for 4th of July to fall. That's just the worst because, you got everyone, the holiday weekend just ends really abruptly. But that's what we got. So the only other major releases are actually from Universal. They're Friendly Fire. What the heck? Although it's somewhat different. I don't know. Boss Baby is a different audience. Is it though? F9 is a 4-quadrant bonanza. And then the Forever Purge, I think, will be a strong contender and also goes after Hispanic audiences. By the way, it co-stars the new Namor. So if you don't know him very well, you'll get to meet him in the Forever Purge. So with the lack of comparable competition, there's no big movie entering the space until Black Widow on July 9th. Maybe F9 still will do big business. Did you not see F9 this weekend? Maybe you'll break down and go for the holiday weekend. Although there is a ton of competition from streaming, which we will go over at the end of this video. There's so much to stream. It's a little ridiculous. All right, but first, let's chart it up. The week of 5/24, because Nielsen takes too long to report this stuff, but it's still interesting. But it's hard to be like, yeah, when it's so many weeks later. But anyway, the second half of Lucifer Season 5 debuted at number 1. One more season to go, but then they swear that's it. Will it be it? It's doing extremely well. Although that never matters to Netflix. So anyway, and then Season 2 of the Kaminsky Method's debut also that week was right behind it. And I believe this is the final season of the Kaminsky Method. Ragnarok Season 2, as you can see, also debuted in the top 10, while Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 3 and Who Killed Sarah Season 2, a number of you were like, why don't you ever talk about Who Killed Sarah? Well, both of them are doing very well in their second weeks, with the new seasons. They debuted the week before, though. And look, Jupiter's Legacy is still hanging on. So sad. And wow, so I've got to tell you, a lot of you were like, it sucked, Grace. People, watched it but instantly regretted it. But then why is it still doing well? Weeks later, people are still watching it. It had a lot of views. So, I made a video about the other reasons that it didn't stay on. But I think it boiled down a lot to executives. Somebody that really, as I said also before, even on Movie Math, someone just personally seems to have hated that show. And it's a shame. I think it should have gotten a second shot. And wow, Army of the Dead was still number 1 in its second weekend. I didn't get to do Movie Math last week, but Army of the Dead debuted at number 1 in the Nielsen ratings. And as you can see, it has a strong lead in terms of minutes, so it's a strong number 1. Cruella, which debuted this weekend, this was its debut weekend in theaters and on Disney+, debuted at number 6. Considering its box office was only medium, and this is only medium, I still don't totally believe they're making a sequel. We shall see. Overall, and I loved the movie. I really enjoyed the movie, and I thought I wouldn't say I loved it, but I really had fun watching it, and I would very much like to see a sequel, but I don't really see the numbers. What do you think? Would you make they already said they were, but would you actually make a Cruella sequel? I'm curious. Although you'll see some strong numbers for it in a minute on iTunes. But over on Netflix this week, people hate-watched another movie with Ice Road, generic Liam Neeson movie number 571. With the just-canceled Manifest coming in right behind it, continuing to do big numbers on Netflix. Maybe they'll save it from cancellation. People were very sad and shocked that it was canceled on network television. Some of you were, when I first reported that Manifest was, I think I didn't even mention it when it was in Movie Math, not last week, but the week before. And some of you were like, show some respect to Manifest, Grace. And I was like, I can't believe anyone's watching Manifest. So if you are a Manifest fan, defend it down below. I'd love to hear why you like it so much. Make me love it too. I did get into Castlevania. All right, so anyway, but that's because I want to cover this spin-off show. So if they do renew Manifest, maybe I will watch it. So it's up to you, Netflix. Then Fatherhood is also still doing well. Seems Kevin Hart was right. You cannot cancel him. And Isla Schlesinger, who has been a consistent performer on Netflix. Her specials, she was in Spencer Confidential. Well, now she got her own original movie, good on paper, and as you can see, it debuted in the top 10. And then Sweet Tooth is still up there. Where is that season 2 announcement? They better make a season 2 announcement of Sweet Tooth. I'm like, come on. I mean, I really want season 2, don't you? I don't know what's taking so long. All right, so anyway, they took a very long time to announce Shadow and Bones second season, but I think they might have been holding that for their Geek Week event. But what would they be waiting to announce with Sweet Tooth for? Announce it! All right, over on iTunes this week, here it is. Cruella is doing much better as an outright $30 purchase, which it just became available as. Although nothing beats nobody at $6. All right, well, Demon Slayer continues to stay in the top 10, but Batman The Long Halloween fell out already since Tuesday. That also makes me sad. It's at number 20, but I wish it had held in the top 10, at least till the weekend, for Pete's sake. I think it was still a big win for DC and WB Animation, but man, I would love to see it. I'd love to have seen it hold. Now, as for this coming holiday weekend, streaming did not come to play. This is incredible. Get out your pen and paper or wherever you take notes down, because there's a lot of stuff here you're going to want to keep track of. All right, on Wednesday, Netflix kicks things off with America, the Motion Picture, which looks medium to me. But still. Then on Thursday, HBO Max debuts the Steven Soderbergh flick, No Sudden Move. That looks very good. And on Friday, oh my God, The Tomorrow War on Amazon. The Boss Baby 2 on Peacock or in theaters. Werewolves Within hits PVOD. That looks hilarious to me. And Netflix kicks off their 3-week event with the first movie in their Fear Street trilogy, Fear Street Part 1, 1994. We're working our way back to the 1600s here, man, with a new movie every week. That's exciting. As for theaters, again, you've got Universal's The Forever Purge, which is theaters only, and F9, also theaters only, held over from this weekend. So what are you going to watch next weekend if you're in the United States or anywhere on the planet Earth? What are you watching? What have you been watching? And what do you think of F9's Fast and Furious opening weekend? Share your thoughts down below, subscribe today, and of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.